And welcome back. Well, for most students, forgotten lunch or homework is just a text away from mom or dad. But not for those attending Lake Mary High School in Florida. The school does not accept any drop-off items, including lunches and backpacks. So mom can't pull up to the school and drop them off anymore. Is this a good way to hold kids accountable or going too far? Here to debate, child psychologist Darby Fox and parenting expert Melissa Gerstein. Nice to see both of you this morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, so look, kids are forgetful. And they're worried about, high school love and all this other craziness. They have got football practice. Maybe they leave their lunch at home. Maybe they leave that one assignment, that book at home. They call up mom to bring it back. The school says you can't do it anymore. Is this wrong?
Oh, boy. Well, I don't think it's so black and white, but I actually have a son in middle school where they have the no drop-off policy.
Really?
So I'm experiencing this firsthand. I think that we're creating robots. We make mistakes, you and I as adults. We forget things. I think there has to be some leeway. I don't have that at my son's school, and I actually see some anxiousness in him, and I see with my little one, who I can bring things, she's trying to be responsible, but she knows that I can still bring it, and there's an ease to her. So I think that we have to be a little flexible.
But the safety net, though, is what she's really talking about. Isn't that a problem, though?
Well, it's great. It is important that there's the time that we can take them and drop things off. And you're talking about middle school. This, I believe, is high school, which is...
Right, the one in Florida is high school.
The one in Florida is high school. And at high school, again, you always want to have the exception for the one time you forget it. But to have high school students, and many of them can drive, relying on their mom or somebody to drop off their homework or their forgotten shirt is... We're just facilitating them to rely on someone else. And by the time you're in high school, you should be able to remember what you have to do for the day.
So, to her point, is this setting them up for failure, Melissa? Because the idea that they'll have this safety net that when they get to college, they can call mom when they've got a problem. When they're 25 years old, they move back in with their parents. I mean, you're setting them up to be reliant on their parents their whole life.
No, because they're trying to be responsible as it is. They know they've got to get their homework done and get it back in. They know they have to bring their lunch. Like I said, we're all not robots. If you forgot something in your workplace that was very important and you hadn't forgot something in a long time, you have the luxury to jump back and get it, or to call someone, or a friend, or an aunt, or an uncle, possibly. So I just think to have such a rigid policy when kids are trying their hardest all day long, every day, I don't know, I'm struggling with it.
I think they're really trying to set the policy to teach kids starting early to be organized and come with what you need. So I think we have to remember that we really have made a generation of over helping and being in touch with the text. We got to remember that there's a lot of kids whose parents work, so they can't have someone drop something off. So they have to be held accountable to a different set of standards. So I think it is important. I wouldn't put a legislation or a mandate, but I would suggest that really, if your child in middle school forgets his cleats for a practice, then he needs to go without them, and that does help him remember.
Right.
I mean, the stakes are not so high in middle school or high school.
It's true. All right, Darby and Melissa, we appreciate you joining us this morning. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And I'd love to hear from our viewers this morning. Go to our Facebook page, weigh in on this topic.